way to the Eastern Transvaal, to a part of the Greater Kruger Reserve. We're going to see if we can find ourselves a lion and an elephant, perhaps a couple of other things as well. At the moment we're still traveling through the Lowveld. You can see everything dead and dry. This is the Dulstrom area in South Africa. Morning folks, Johan de Brutto, Citron Mounted Combat and Bushcraft. Welcome. Today we're in Thorny Bush Nature Reserve, which forms part of the Greater Kruger National Park. It's a cool cloudy morning today, and we're going to spend the next couple of days here, see what we can find. Stay with me. The African civet. It's a small cat-like carnivore. Falls under the Viveridae family in South Africa. Part of the bigger family of civets and genets. Usually it eats small rodents, insects, hares, reptiles, that sort of thing. Here we can see it's all turning towards scavenging, picking up some bones that's been left over from something else. This one is a female. The females are slightly bigger than the males. Coloring are exactly the same. They weigh in the order of about 9 to 15 kilograms. Stand about 40 to 50 centimeters shoulder height. You can see the dark reach running from the head along the spine down to the tail. Here you can see when she notices something, all those hairs stands erect. You can also see when she moves the very typical way of walking, with her head held low to the ground, walking very determinedly. Here in the back there's another one. You can just see jumping off there in the back. That one is a male, a little bit smaller than the female. A typical family group of elephants at the waterhole. This group consists mainly of large cows. You can see the matriarch of the herd, the largest female elephant there on the far right, starting to lead the herd away from the water. There's no bulls in this herd except for the really young ones. The small little elephants that we see there in the front are about a year old. The females give birth to a single young after a gestation period of 22 months. So many of those bigger females will probably be already carrying the next one, while they still have the young ones at their sides. We found these two old buffalo bulls at the end of the day, where they're just starting to get ready to start their feeding cycle for the evening. The Africans call these ones daga boys, referring to the mud that they roll themselves in. We know these are old bulls by the wear and tear that we can see on their horns. You can also see the one on the right, there's hardly a hair left on his body. It's a big, huge old bull. It It's now moments after sundown. We found this little pride of lions. This one is a young female, probably about 6 or 7 months old. You can see on the back legs there's still some spots visible. The young ones usually are spotted almost like a leopard cub. There in the background, just behind the tree, you can see there's one bigger male lying. A lion track is not the first thing that you want to see in the morning when you get out of bed, especially if it's right next to the bed. This young elephant bull spent the whole night around the camp, breaking trees and branches, just being naughty in general. These are the tracks of the young bull that spent the night in camp. This particular track is the hind foot. You can see it's got a slightly oval shape to it, where the front foot has got a round shape. The lines and the markings that you can see in that footprint are cracks in the foot of the elephant, and it acts in the same way as a fingerprint for a human. You can identify an elephant by that footprint that it leaves. The circumference of those footprints can be more than a meter when the elephant starts getting bigger. This is a marula tree, Sclerocarya brea, and you can see in the bark here are the tusk marks of the elephant. That's where they start stripping off the bark by forcing in the tusk into the tree underneath the bark and then peeling off the bark to eat it. The Nyala is one of the medium-sized antelopes in South Africa. That's the reason why some people refer to the males as rams and some people refer to them as bulls. Here we can see two fully grown Nyala bulls in the hierarchy display. We found a pride of lions made up of lionesses and young ones. These ones here in front of us are a bunch of young lions, probably about a year and a half old. The bigger females are still coming in the back, and they've just woken up and started to hunt. And here comes the boss, big old male lion, nice dark tawny color, beautiful male. You can see he's getting on the old side, he's not walking that well anymore. Lions can grow to an age of 20 years and more, although in the wild it's usually quite a bit less than that due to injuries and diseases and that sort of thing. It's now just after sundown and we found this big male leopard walking down the road, busy marking his territory. A group of 3 Nyala bulls walking past, and the 2 males that has been sizing each other up for the past 2 days finally decided to get to it. Very often these males get so engrossed in what they're doing when they're fighting that they don't notice any predators or hunters sneaking up on them, therefore making them very easy prey when they are fighting like this. Here's another family group of elephants. These are two young ones. This one is a young bull, probably about 6 years, 7 years old. You can see he's just testing his abilities against the Land Cruiser. In the back is another young one. It's a whole group of youngsters here. This one is a bit younger, probably about 3 or so. Still playing around. Pangolin, probably one of the rarest sightings that you'll find in the African bush nowadays. It's an animal, the scales cover the whole of the upper body, and the moment that they feel threatened, they roll into a ball to protect themselves. Here you can see the back and the tail of this particular one, and he's only just beginning to tuck in his head to roll into a ball. They have well developed and strong back legs, but the front legs are relatively small, and usually when they walk they don't use the front legs, they only use the back legs. And when they want to see further ahead in the veld, they stand up on the back legs and brace themselves with their tails.